And welcome to the show. One of my favorite people is here with me, Sarah Aynesworth. She is our Miss Manners, and we're going to talk etiquette, which is always a hot topic. People are always interested in chiming in on maybe their pet peeves about people's lack of manners these days and how things are sort of evolving when it
Right.
comes to good manners. But here we are in early December. That means all the parties are coming up. So we want to kind of focus on the holidays
All
and
the
focus
invitations.
focus on the invitations to whether it's office events or, you're hosting Christmas Eve dinner at your house. We're going to talk about it all.
Okay.
Good to
I'm
have you
ready,
here.
Ann.
It's
I'm
always
ready.
good to have you
We
here.
always have a good
Well,
time
well,
together.
first of all, I want to talk about something that you mentioned as we were getting ready to get started here to me. And that's a term called social anxiety. What is that?
I think social anxiety, I would describe it as someone who feels anxious upon entering a social situation. And I think we all do to some extent, but I think maybe the 1 to 3 years of kind of social isolation, especially with young people
During COVID, you
during
mean?
COVID, right?
Yeah, that
During the
was a game
pandemic, right?
changer for some people.
Right. So many people just retreated kind of, into their four walls of their home or into themselves and lost that communication piece of themselves. And I think a lot of young people really lost it because they didn't have a normal teenage experience to prep them for continuing on and learning how to communicate with others. And so instead, it's created what I would call a social anxiety. And I think some people have it more than others. But I feel like that is what I teach in so many ways is confidence. It's just
Hmm.
confidence and communication skills and being able to walk into a room and be fully present and that just do something if you do have some social anxiety, which I think we all do to a certain extent.
Well, yeah, when you
I mean,
first walk
yeah,
into a restaurant, everybody's already standing around and they've got their drinks or whatever, and they're,
right.
in conversation, and you're sort of, well, where do I go
I know, where do I
first?
go?
What do I do?
So anytime you walk into the room, first of all, prep yourself before. Have some
Hmm.
questions in the back of your pocket
Oh,
to think. Like,
who did you vote for in the last election?
no, not that. Unless you don't want to talk to them anymore. But no, I would ask questions, maybe if there's a new movie, like have you seen, are you going to see Wicked over Thanksgiving? Or did you see the first one? Or have you been to this new restaurant in Waco? Or, whatever,
There's a bunch of
something,
them.
right.
Yeah.
Something that is just apolitical and you're asking that other person a question. I always say,
Hmm.
the best way to not feel anxiety, social anxiety, is to ask the other person questions.
And don't
So,
ask them a yes or no question.
and don't answer yes or no.
Hmm.
Right. Don't ask a yes or no. Ask someone their opinion. Everyone loves to, everyone has a story.
That's
So,
true. I mean, that's what's on the silos over there. Everyone has a story worth telling.
is that?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
that big in big
truly.
letters.
So but I think that's kind of the philosophy that if you think that everyone has a story, that is because we are all, I think it's Oprah Winfrey says that whenever she does an interview, you can relate to this, Anne, that whether it's Beyonce or whether it is someone on death row,
Hmm.
as soon as, the producer, the director comes in and says, okay, we're, cut, we're stopping the filming, that person will look at her, whether it's Beyonce or the person on death row, and say, was that okay?
Yeah.
Which just shows, and what she says is that we all are seeking validation. So make
Hmm.
it not about you, make it about the other person, and just think, okay, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to validate someone.
Hmm.
I'm going to hear someone's story,
Yeah.
And I think being fully present, really, listening to learn, not listening to respond,
Hmm.
are two very, listening to respond is just you're coming up with the next thing you're going to say. but listening to learn is truly learning from that person.
And maybe repeating what they said, that you did understand what they were saying and weren't ready to pull out your phone and start looking at it. I mean,
Right.
the phones have really
I know.
been damaging, I think, to good manners.
I do too. I think they've been damaging and inadvertently to being present.
Right.
And I think being present with someone is the essence of good manners, because really all manners are about is just, it's how did you make that person feel? Did your words and your actions validate that person?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, it is the holidays. Office parties. Yay.
'Tis the season. That's right.
'Tis the season. So, what is the best way to go about, first of all, deciding whether or not you're going to go to the office Christmas party? I mean, is there an obligation? Do you absolutely have to? How do you politely decline if you choose not to go?
Well, it all begins obviously every invitation, not just office parties. I received an invitation for a nonprofit here in Waco having a party. So it all begins, usually at the bottom of an invitation, and however the invitation came, whether it's paper by mail, whether it's a text, whether it's an Evite, it does have a spot where you need to reply, where you as the guest who has received this invitation need to reply. So that's your first step in respecting the host, because they need to know how much food to have, how many party favors to have if they have party favors, or, just how many drinks to have. Are you going to have 10 people there? Are you going to have 25 people there? Because that's a huge difference in food. So the first thing I would do is look at the invitation and see what your duty is. Does it say regrets only? Does it say reply if declining? Or does it say, have those 4 letters RSVP?
Which mean?
Which mean, I don't know why we still use a French acronym in the United States in
Respondez, s'il vous
2025.
plaît.
Respondez, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah.
And so in French, the translation of that, in English, the translation of that is respond if you please. So RSVP, anytime you see that, and it's becoming, one of my sons was, he had an online interview for a job in the banking industry, and he replied, I said, well, how did you know, to tell them that you'll be there? And he said, Mom, it says RSVP at the bottom.
Well, okay.
So, we're starting to see this not in just social, but as in professional settings as well. Well, anyway, so RSVP means you need to call and say, yes, you are coming, or no, you are not coming.
Yeah.
Or text or email or whatever mode of communication you want to use. So RSVP is only if you're coming or not coming, both. So not only, but both. And then reply if declining or regrets only is only if you're not able to
No, you're
attend.
not going to go. And then usually, is there a rule of thumb on timing? Because sometimes it's like, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing that day. I might be able to go, or
Can
I
you
might
give a
not.
maybe? No.
Yeah, right. I
know.
Honestly, that doesn't help when you're counting noses for
It doesn't.
food
so
and stuff.
Usually for weddings, they'll give you a date.
Right.
For
Respond by
example,
a certain date.
Right. Respond by November 24th
Yeah, and most
or something.
gala invitations, or most of those things, they do have a pretty hard cutoff date.
Right. Have a pretty hard cutoff date. If it's something personable, or if your office is really small, and maybe surely I think everything has some sort of paper or text or Evite or something, just explaining when, where, why, how.
Yeah.
All the details. So I would respond as soon as you are able to do so.
As soon as you know, yeah.
As soon as you know, I think. And you don't necessarily have to give an explanation of why you
Right.
can't come.
Make up some.
Right.
Make up something.
Right. You don't have to lie. You don't have to, make something up. Just be genuine about it.
Yeah.
If it's something where it's a cast of thousands invited, really all you have to say is, I'm not able to attend, but thank you so much for the invitation.
That's right. It sounds like a lovely event,
right.
but
it's a one-sentence response,
Right. Okay.
And, hi, this is Sarah Aynesworth. I'm unable to attend the party for whatever the date is.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'll miss a good time. Thank you so much for including me. That's
Yeah.
all you have to say.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's really not that hard. You just need to do it.
Right.
I mean,
It's
that's
not
kind
that
of
hard.
the
You just need to do
just
it.
don't
That's
just
right.
keep putting it off. Okay, so holiday party at the office. How do you balance having fun, letting your hair down, and maintaining a sense of professionalism because you're going to be working with that colleague come Monday morning?
Right. So that's what I would call, that's where it gets a little gray. So there's definitely two different camps of etiquette or social norms. One would be business professional, where, there's no gender difference, et cetera. A man would not pull the chair. It's not quite as, it's more gender free.
Mm-hmm.
And the handshake is the only acceptable form of touch. And then there's social, where, especially in the South, yes, the man would still hold the door open or pull the chair out for the woman or hold the car door open.
Help her on with her coat, maybe.
Right,
Whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
But in a business setting, that might be offensive to a woman executive. So there are two kind of rules of two camps in those different social mores and rules. And office parties are where those two camps collide because suddenly it's a business social event. So I would always err on being more conservative than not. This is not your, fraternity brothers reunion. So I really would, especially if you are not a senior executive in this office or have a senior position, I would definitely absolutely mind my quote unquote P's and Q's, which is actually an old English term.
Yeah, what does it mean?
It's an old English term. It was the name of my original business when I had just children's classes, P's and Q's. But it's really not a children's term because it's an old English term for pubs, and it meant mind your pints and quarts.
Your pints and quarts,
your pints
really?
and your quarts of beer.
I was going to say,
don't drink too much.
Don't drink the quart.
Right. So, don't get sloppy.
I never knew that.
Yes, that's
good.
what P's and Q's stands for. So if you ever see, or hear, well, mind your P's and Q's, that's actually an old English term.
That's
mind
great.
your pints and quarts.
I always learn something new from you.
Well, that's
that is
anyway.
fun.
That is the history of that. But so I would definitely mind my P's and Q's because you do not. I always say, if something turns into suddenly, if a social turns into business or business turns into social, whichever way that goes, I would stick to a one drink maximum.
Yeah.
I would have some boundaries.
Yeah. If you feel like you need to be sociable and enjoy an adult beverage, then yeah.
Right. And if you don't, I think
keep it to one, or have a Coke. I mean, I don't think anybody really cares anymore if someone, because people abstain for a lot of different reasons. So.
Right. And I read somewhere that like in the history of the United States, alcohol consumption is at the lowest it has ever been.
Yeah.
So I think there's so much emphasis on mocktails now. There's, I always just say, I'll just have a sparkling water and lime. Well, no one has any idea if
it could have gin in it, but you don't know.
No one has any idea if that's what. Not that I'm trying to be duplicitous or hide that from anyone. But, it doesn't. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if you do want to drink, do not drink too much. Do not lose your cool.
No.
Do not lose yourself.
Absolutely. So much more I want to talk about. Sarah, about this. We've just barely scratched the surface. We've still got to get into the family stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, so stay with us. We will be back after the break, but I want to tell you that you need to save the dates, and we're talking about December 3rd. That would be tomorrow through the 7th, because that's the Clifton Chamber of Commerce, a Norwegian Christmas. You can go to the Clifton Chamber of Commerce website and learn all about the wonderful events happening in Clifton, the Norwegian capital of the state of Texas. Stay with us. There is some more to come.
Bubble wasn't here. I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit propmoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
Studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
Introducing Muck-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level.
Step into a winter wonderland as the Mayborn Museum's beloved Christmas lights in the village returns on December 12th. Stroll through a glowing 1890s village where twinkling lights, joyful carols, and festive activities bring the spirit of the season to life. There will be a nightly tree lighting with carols. You can stop by Santa's workshop to make cards for local seniors. You can take a ride on the Christmas tree, make friends at the petting zoo, and admire the lights all night long. Mission Waco's art program, Urban Expressions, will be hosting an artisan market on Saturday, December 13th. The market is meant to spotlight local Wacoan artists and artisans who will display and sell their artwork. All purchased vendors' spots go directly to supporting Mission Waco Children and Youth Art Program. They will have artisans of all types, which is perfect for your holiday shopping, as well as fun activities for the whole family. The event will be hosted in the parking lot space behind Mission Waco's World Cup Cafe and Fair Trade Market, so be sure to check out the artisan market happening on Saturday, December 13th with Mission Waco. I'm Elizabeth Riley with your Act Locally Waco News, and I will see you next time.
Natural Cycles identifies your fertile window by analyzing changes in your temperature. Just measure in the morning, add your temperature into the app, then learn which days you can and cannot get pregnant. It's that easy. Learn more at naturalcycles.com.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
But boy, it looked effortless.
Man, watch this.
Layups, floaters, threes. He was like an unsolvable equation.
I was born like this.
His resilience, his strength, his belief, adversity never stood a chance.
Know your power.
We offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business.
Experience with the Bosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
BosleyMD.com.
At Tusain's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com. Launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. That's ULIKE.com. You like.
And I'm back with Sarah Aynesworth of Sarah Aynesworth Etiquette. And we're going to talk about some basics. We've been talking about holiday parties and all of the things that go along with that. And in past episodes, you and I have talked about regifting, and we've talked about, acknowledging gifts. So we've kind of talked about the gift part of it. So this is really just the party part of it we're talking about
Just
today.
the party aspect.
But let's kind of go back to the very beginning. And some people really have anxiety, social anxiety, when it comes to knowing how to introduce someone. Just basic things.
Right. So I always say, err on always introducing yourself, especially if there aren't name tags. I always say, "Hi, I'm Sarah Aynesworth." Now you want to make sure that they don't think you're introducing yourself to them because you don't remember them. I always, and they'll say, "Yes, I know, we've met." And I'll say, "Oh, I know, I'm just giving you my name. I know we met."
Yeah.
So I always say that. But I think the person that speaks first is it's kind of a natural leader, honestly, to, throw your hand out there. And in an office setting, business, social situation, the handshake is the only acceptable form of touch, really. Obviously you and I would give each other a hug.
Yeah.
But
I tend to be a hugger.
Familial, I know, me too. But not to someone you don't know very well. You
No.
would shake their hands.
No.
So
Yeah, right.
So when you shake hands, you want to definitely look them in the eye.
And one thing, not to interrupt you, but I will
No, you're
interrupt you. One thing that I have learned is that if a lady is sitting and she's being introduced to someone, she should stand.
Absolutely. That is an example.
As opposed to shaking someone's hand while sitting. That's a no-no.
That's so interesting that you bring that up, because as our culture changes, so do what is seen as a standard. What the rules change as we evolve. For example, women in my mom's generation were taught to stay seated.
Yeah.
So one time I was with my husband's aunt, and we were in her hometown, and she kept introducing me to people. And my mom and I were sitting there, and it was my husband's aunt and then myself and my mother. And I would stand up and say, "Oh, hi, it's so nice to meet you. Yes, I'm Sarah, Nancy's niece." And then I would sit back down, and then someone else would come up, and I would stand up.
You were hopping up and down like a jack in the box.
That's right. That's right. So we got in the car, and my mother said, "Honey, may I ask you a question?" I said, "Of course, Mom. What?" She goes, "Why did you stand up when all those people came to the table?" And she said, I was taught as a young woman that that's pushy or aggressive for women to stand up and meet somebody and greet someone. And I looked at my mom in the car. We had not started driving yet. And I said, "Mother, it's the 21st century. You stand up out of respect for yourself as well as out of respect for the other person." And she was like, "Oh, well, that's so interesting, because I was taught that if someone stood up, you came across as too aggressive or too pushy, especially as a woman."
As a woman, yeah.
Yes. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So, part of kind of how things have changed, even in just one generation, that women were taught or expected to be more demure and give their fingertips.
Right.
Give their fingertips.
My bustle is in the way. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yes, anytime you meet someone, always, always stand up. And it's out of respect for yourself. And I always say, having nice manners does not mean you're a doormat. Right. It is respecting yourself as well as respecting the other person. It's a mutual respect. So, right. So you'd never want to meet somebody like this, like them looking down and you looking up. You want to be on eye level.
Okay, let's say you have colleagues who send religious holiday greetings when you don't share the same beliefs, perhaps. Do you respond, ignore, or redirect?
Would it be via text?
I don't know. I mean, there's lots of different ways to that was another question that kind of came up about using inter-office communication systems, whether it's Slack or whatever.
Right. And I think that's
to say, "Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody." But, anyway.
Right. And then you have other people that are of a different faith or
Right.
belief system. So I think that's where a lot of times, especially for big offices that do have a lot of different nationalities and
Sure.
religions
Yeah.
represented, that's where it's just a holiday party. Because, I mean, these are the holidays, the holy days.
Right.
For regardless, of kind of what religion you are part of
Yeah.
or belief system.
Yeah.
So I think it's always safe if you do have if you're trying to accommodate a lot of, different nationalities or belief systems or religions. And hopefully it's just back to that mutual respect of saying, oh, thank you so much. Our family celebrates Christmas.
Yeah.
And I hope you all have as nice of a time as we are plan to have or something.
Right.
So.
You're right. Right. It's just being generous with their feelings and concerns and considerations.
With your love.
Okay. Getting to the year end, how can employees express appreciation to bosses or teammates without it feeling forced or transactional?
Yes, that
gift
can
giving
feel,
and that kind of thing.
Right. That can feel tricky, or that can feel, I agree. If I were, the senior executive in the office, I think I might make sure that it was a silly little game that everyone was playing. Like, just bring the
white elephant thing.
white elephant
Yeah.
thing. And that, maybe if gifts are being exchanged, that you don't, behind the scenes.
Yeah, there's the whole Secret Santa thing.
The Secret Santa thing, that's right. Or I think baked goods are always an easy thing, or just a little box of chocolates to give everybody. But I also think just sending a really nice card, or just back to just what we were talking about with social anxiety, just remember everyone needs validation. So many times I think words mean more than a thing. And so by just, a really nice note.
Yeah, it might be something that they would treasure more than, gift card to Starbucks or whatever. Although gift cards to Starbucks are good.
Right. Gift cards to Starbucks are easy and nice.
Yeah, it's really easy and nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I appreciate them.
So say you're job hunting during the holidays, is it okay to send holiday cards to professional contacts and maybe mention you're still looking for a job?
That's an interesting question. I would say, maybe, right. Yes, if you've been in contact with them, and just say, I hope your holidays are going well. I would not say Merry Christmas in case they are Jewish, right? Yeah. Or they are, of a different religion. So I would be pretty vague in that if you don't know them, if it's not a personal relationship.
Right.
And sure, what could it hurt? And just say, you don't want to appear too pushy. You don't want to appear desperate, but you do want them to know that you are interested and that you would be. I actually talked to someone the other day, and she really wanted a job out of college. And they said, well, we aren't hiring. And every month she would email them and say, are you hiring yet? I'm still extremely interested. And when they finally opened the job up, they called her and they said, you've got the job. And she said, oh, well, do you need to interview me? And they said, no, we know what your integrity is. We know your perseverance.
Your perseverance.
You do not, we do not need to interview you, and we are not interviewing anyone else for this.
Wow.
So, it's time to sell yourself if you're looking for a job.
Oh, yeah. And it's hard. It's a tough market out there.
It is.
It really
and
is.
Say, I would love to be part of your team. Let me know. I hope 2026, a position opens or whatever it is. I think the main thing with that is sincerity and being genuine.
Yeah. Right. So let's talk about gatherings. So you're hosting a dinner party.
Yes.
So how do you kind of manage like allergies and dietary issues that your guests may have without making that person feel singled out?
I would, it depends on how large, the situation is, but I would, if it's a small situation, you could just text people and just say, let me know if you have any allergies or anything. If it's a large situation, I would just make sure you have a sampling of something that everybody could eat.
Right.
If
right.
If someone's a vegetarian, you have a vegetarian option.
Right. So and have something so that they will feel like they had something to eat.
Right, exactly.
Without going home hungry.
Exactly.
But, yeah. What are some of the subtle signs that it's okay to send at a holiday gathering to indicate you need to exit gracefully or you want your guests to exit gracefully?
Well, I go to bed really early, Ann.
So the fuzzy house slippers come on.
Yes, people know me really well. And in fact, someone gave me some cocktail napkins a few years ago, and it said, "It's 9 p.m. Please leave. It's past my bedtime."
It's past my bedtime.
Please leave.
Well, because the host has still got to clean up. They've still got a few hours of work to do.
I think, there are some times where you just have to say, well, I got a big day tomorrow, so I'm going to, I think there are subtle signs you could, let's say people have really overstayed their welcome. I mean, just start cleaning up.
Right.
Oh, yeah. If they've stayed really, really late, they're your good friends.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's also it's an indicator that they're having a good time.
Right.
And
it's kind of like everything else.
Both ways.
I love the Maya Angelou quote, moderation in moderation. Sometimes just stay up late and have a good time.
Yeah. How can families navigate political or sensitive topics at holiday dinners to keep the peace?
Well, I guess in some ways.
Of course, the old adage was you never talk religion or politics at the dinner table.
At the dinner table, I know. And I think we actually had a situation with like that at our Easter table. And one of my sons said, people always talk about that, but I never thought that would happen to our family.
Surprise.
And it did.
And it did.
And anyway, the opposing view, I was very pleasantly surprised, just sat there and didn't say a word.
Oh.
So I think, if someone, this cousin, they did not mean anything by it. They were just sort of telling their story, and it just we just skipped over it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if things do get, if you are the host and things get heated or controversial, remember you are the one in control of what goes on in your home.
Mm-hmm.
So if it gets heated, I would just say as the host, hey guys, let's change the subject.
Yeah.
Time
out. Yeah.
Right. Time out. Let's agree to disagree and move on.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
We're family.
I was going to say,
yeah. And the situation that we had at Easter, it wasn't awkward because the person that I thought might rebut the other person's opinion just stayed silent.
Just stayed quiet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is a good topic for you. Mixed age gatherings. How can adults model good manners for children without turning it into a lecture?
Right. And, I think that our children respond, they learn the most from watching us.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, our
They're
actions.
taking it all in. Yeah.
Right. Our actions speak volumes. So I think, prep them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And do, especially with kids, have some, bring, if it's going to be this pretty formal, a little bit stuffy situation, bring coloring books, bring some things that wouldn't interfere, or bring something to play outside or something. I mean, just set your child up for success.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also so many times children act out because they're not receiving enough attention.
Yeah.
So ask them questions, engage with them, play a game.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a host, set things up for the children's success too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of a, be on their level in a way in terms of, I know this could be kind of boring, but, just go ask grandma if you could be excused from the table when it's just the adults and the dessert is finished. And then maybe you could go outside.
Yeah. Or go,
like set
go
them
in
up.
the den and watch
Right, or
cartoons
go,
something.
or go read your book or
Right.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
beyond basic utensils, what are some overlooked holiday dining etiquette rules, like handling buffets or passing dishes?
well, everything is usually passed. The traditional, and there's a reason for every rule, or else this is all unreasonable, and it's all just about respect.
Right.
It all goes back to just the one word or two words of honor and respecting other people. So you always pass to the right, and the reason for that is that in traditional settings, the guest of honor was always seated to the host's right. So the host would never take the bread or the dish first. They would always offer it to their guest first. So that's why still, things are passed to the right. Salt and pepper, they're always passed together because that just keeps them together and doesn't separate them. I think, a lot of the table rules, some of them, if it's got to be practical too. I mean, yes, you don't want to reach in the middle of the table and get your sleeve all dirty, but at the same time, you're going to have to, but the butter's in the middle of the table. You're going to have to get up a little bit and reach over.
Right. A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like a round table that seats 10. I mean, that's a pretty big table. Yeah.
If you have a buffet, like let's say it's a Thanksgiving buffet, and you're the first person to your table, you don't want to just start. This is something you can prep your kid. Like these are things your kids can learn and should learn. Like this is how we honor each other. Do not just grab your food and go start eating at the table as soon as you sit down. You have to wait.
And what is this? The rule? 3 people seated?
I think it's
food?
3 people.
Yeah.
And if it's a buffet and, the host is, just make sure, that other people have said, enough people have started, or that you've asked permission if you're a child, or if it's a children's table, everybody's at the children's table. So it's just back to, and what it's all about. It's just, an awareness of other people's feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So speaking of permission, with social media, what is the etiquette around posting holiday photos that include others, and should you always ask permission before posting?
I would,
or let them know
if they are not a big social media presence. If they are not someone who's always posting, and you're in their home or you're at a party, just say, "Would you mind if I put this on my Instagram page?"
Yeah.
And, I think you can kind of read the room in a way of knowing if that person is a big poster, meaning do they post a lot on Facebook or Instagram, or are they pretty private?
Right. Because they may not want pictures of, some exquisite painting or something on the wall that someone might break in and want to steal.
But if it's just people, you can turn to the person.
Background stuff that's going to be
that's true. That's
in a
right.
location
That's
wherever
right.
you are. Yeah.
So I would just say, turn to, let's say you've taken a picture and you would say, "Do you care if I put this on my Instagram page?"
Because when I come in the room, they know I'm going to be posting everything. So that sort of goes with that.
Right.
That's kind of what I do. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I do ask. I do ask because some people, and particularly if they're kids, because some parents do not want their kids' faces on social media.
I know. I've realized that with different classes that I've taught, and some people, when I go into elementary schools or something, and they even this I really never post anything. I'm horrible at social media, but they will post things just to the school website or something, but they still have to fuzzy out some children's faces.
Sure. No. That's true. Of course, we always talk about thank you notes, and so we need to talk about them again. What is the proper timing and method for acknowledging gifts or invitations to someone's home? I mean, is that still a thing if someone invites you to dinner?
Yes, I would. I mean, we've become so casual in our society, and I think, if it's a casual dinner, just a text the next day is okay. Especially if it's just, your neighbors or something, or I don't know, your mother-in-law or something like that, just to say, thank you so much for dinner last night. It was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something very formal, I went to a program in Dallas on Saturday night, and I was a guest at the United Way's 100th anniversary. And I definitely need to not only write a note this afternoon to thank her, I need to send a gift.
I was going to say send a donation.
Yeah,
no,
right.
I know, because
Mhm.
those
send
those
a
kinds of
donation or
events,
send a gift.
yeah,
Mhm.
those spots at the table are $150 to $300. I mean, who knows how much?
I know. I have no idea. But
Yeah.
So see, now, for example, that requires more than a text.
Right.
Or an email to her, to my friend that invited
Oh,
us.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So much still we could talk about. So we're just going to have
The
to
list
have
goes
you.
on and on,
But I know
man.
it just goes on and on and on. Going to have you come back.
I'll come
So we'll
back.
come back. We'll come up with something else fun to talk about. But they're really obviously we don't have a problem talking about things related to good manners and etiquette, and yet it really is a simple concept, and that's
It's
thinking.
so simple. All it is an awareness of the feelings and perceptions of others, an awareness of your words and your actions and how they're being perceived.
Mm-hmm.
And did they make that other person feel like $1 million? Or
Yeah, I know
did
some
they-
people
were
who
they-
are like that. I mean, whether they host something in their home or just whenever you're with them, there's just something about the way they make you feel like you're the most important person in the room. It's just incredible.
You're like that,
It's
Ann.
a gift. Well, I
are.
would endeavor to be. I don't feel like I am, but I would
You
endeavor to
are.
be that, because I just think that's what we're kind of called to do, to respect others and to lift them up. And
Right, and to honor.
Yeah.
To honor them.
Well, I
You know.
honor you, my friend. I hope you
honor
have a
you too.
wonderful holiday season if we don't talk again before Christmas and New Year's, because it'll be here like
I know
that. But
I know. I guess we'll meet back in January.
let's plan it. Let's
Okay.
plan it. Because, there's New Year's resolutions. We could do a whole thing on that.
New Year's resolutions.
Yes, we
That's
need
right.
to do that. That's always fun.
Thank you
Sarah,
for having me.
You're
so
a
much,
delight.
Ann.
It is
Thank
so
you.
much fun to have you come and talk about things, because, tragically, some kids just were not taught. They just haven't learned.
Right. It just wasn't emphasized.
No.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And it does, it does, manners do create an equality
Mm-hmm.
because you know what to do in any setting.
Yeah.
And that creates an equalization of the playing field. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Right. And it gives one confidence.
Yeah.
In-
And not false confidence.
Right.
Because I don't want it to be a false sense of confidence that you're acting a certain way, but I want it to be that
That
you
insincerity
ca-
is clear.
Right.
But
That it's
yeah.
a genuine caring of others and
Mhm.
respecting yourself at the
Yeah,
same
comfortable in your own
time. Skin.
personhood too. Yeah. All good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead. And today's show is brought to you by Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where they are transforming houses into homes. Stay with us.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
During busy times on public transport, don't hog a seat with your possessions. Remember, bag on the floor, there's room for more.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Do you know your table manners for eating steak? What we want to do is not this, which is cutting up a whole bunch of little pieces all at once unless you're preparing a plate for a child. Instead, you want to cut off a small portion one at a time and enjoy it and then repeat.
Welcome to Kit Bag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, for true football passion, think Kit Bag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's kitbag.com. Kit Bag.
Your rich friend's parents invite you to a fancy dinner. Remember these fine dining rules. You silence your phone, place your napkin on your lap, and wait for everyone to be served before eating. But you're tripping over all the different utensils. Remember, work from the outside in. You grab your salad fork and knife for the first course and your dinner fork and knife for the main course. But what about the soup spoon? Apparently face it away from you and scoop outwards. Listen, I didn't make these rules. If you want to share food, pass it counterclockwise, and once you're done, place your fork and knife as so and follow go hard.
Since 2014, we've been creating vegan, clean, and affordable skincare with proven actives and potent botanicals designed to treat your ever-changing skin. Celebrate our first decade of transformation today at facetheory.com/US-EN. Face Theory.
Tasmanian spring water range from Sand and Sky. This range is really good for dry and dehydrated skin like myself, packed with 2 types of hyaluronic acid, fermented sea kelp to reduce redness, and my skin feels so dewy.
My baby Likes has been a struggle. The Sleep Sack from Joy is a major upgrade.
It is all natural eucalyptus, which is breathable and hypoallergenic.
Well, here it is, the dance night. Bill is well groomed. That's the first step. His next problem is what to say when he gets to Helen's door. Bill wonders who's going to open the door.
How do you do? I'm Bill Jenkins. I've come to call for Helen.
Oh, yes. How do you do?
Nice
We've
start.
been expecting you.
Now let's do it again, and suppose that Helen had opened the door.
Hi, Helen. Gee, you look nice.
Well, thank you. Do you like my new dress?
Yeah.
Well, come on in.
That was a natural. Any honest compliment is tops in date etiquette.
Bill, this is my mother.
Helen slipped up on her introduction. The rule here is the younger person is always presented to the older person. Try it again, Helen.
Mother, this is my friend, Bill Jenkins.
Hello, Bill. How do you do?
Father, this is Bill Jenkins. He caddies at the municipal golf course. Maybe you've seen him there sometimes.
How do you do, Bill?
How do you do?
Good. And Helen, by mentioning Bill's job, has started a lively conversation.
I've been around the block a time or two, seen the best and worst of what people do. I've weathered storms, breaking souls in two. I'm still standing, got a story for you. I got a weathered soul, I've been battered and bruised. My heart's still beating, I won't be refused. I walked through fire and paid my dues. I got a weathered soul. nothing to lose. I've seen the bright lights of the city skyline, walk the dusty roads of life's decline. I've loved and I've lost, always paid the price. I'm still standing, not thinking twice. I got a weathered soul, I've been battered and bruised. My heart's still beating, I won't be refused. I walked through fire and paid my dues. I got a weathered soul and nothing to lose. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I believe them now more than ever, 'cause I'm forged in the fire, and I'll come out the other side, kicking alive. I got a weathered soul, I've been battered and bruised. My heart's still beating, I won't be refused. I walked through fire and paid my dues. I got a weathered soul and nothing to lose. I got a weathered soul, I've been battered and bruised. My heart's still beating, I won't be refused. I walked through fire and paid my dues. I got a weathered soul and nothing to lose.
I've always had this thing where like I will listen to music and not know the source of it. Like, oh, I love this song. Who does it? I don't know. It's just one song that goes da-da-da-da, you know. And I mean, even as a little kid, because both my parents really enjoyed music, and we had a stereo, and I would sit there and listen to it, and I would listen to everything from like George Gershwin to just, you know, psychedelic rock of the 60s and stuff. So I always had this, just from very young, a wide variety of music on my plate, but I didn't know the source of much of it.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.
There are still many do's and don'ts on the way to become a complete, attractive person. Cultivate a relaxed, pleasant voice. Speak correct English. Don't talk too much or too loud. Sometimes it doesn't go over too well, and for good reasons. And keep in mind, listening is often more appreciated than talking. Smoking? No. Don't talk with your hands. You look much better this way. And all the makeup in the world couldn't make up for this sort of thing. Don't sit in a lazy, clumsy way. Do sit gracefully. Oh yes, you still want to know how to lose 5 pounds in 5 seconds? By simply standing correctly, this girl has lost 5 pounds almost instantly. Don't walk sloppily. The way you walk is a cue to your personality. Walk smartly. If you need glasses, let them help you.
VivoSun's mission is to empower growers with stylish and effective products, making indoor growing accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Visit vivosun.com today and get started making growing plants and vegetables easy and automatic.
With Ease US, make studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
I'm not going.
Why not?
Do I have to have a reason? But all your friends will be there. Carl, I'm not going.
Chuck, don't talk with your mouth full.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com. Dive into adventure with scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com.
No, gloves were once a must-have, like literally. In the 1950s, a woman wouldn't be considered properly dressed without gloves for church, lunch, even shopping. It wasn't just fashion, it was etiquette.
Glove etiquette according to this brochure. Gloves should be worn on the streets of large cities, for formal events, while on trains, planes, or driving, and at restaurants and theaters. Short gloves are daytime gloves, long gloves are formal. Colored gloves should match your outfit, but white is always safe. A lady never takes her gloves off to shake hands. Gloves should stay on at a restaurant until you are eating, playing cards, or putting on makeup, but your fingers could just be tucked into the wrist while you're smoking or drinking. And finally, bracelets may be worn over long gloves, but never rings. How many of these do you think people actually did?
Everybody at Ecolife really has a passion and a real interest in helping people feel well. How much further can we go to get you feeling even better? It is a complete partnership between the two of us.